Howdy do, everybody. Now, I am filming this with still a couple days left. You know me, I am likely to read at least 15 more books in the next 6 days. But I thought, you know what? I know that people get so sick of these like end of year videos, but just let me do it, you know what I mean? I read 50 books this year, which is so annoying because... No, because I wanted to go for 100, okay? I've been trying to hit 100 for the last like 5 years and it's embarrassing at this point. Like it's getting embarrassing. I'm gonna go for it again next year and we're gonna hit it. We made it halfway this year and I think the year before that I made like 80 or something like that. I don't know. I've gotten close. I know I can do it. We'll hit it next year, whatever. Bang on 50. There's still a few days left in the year, so it'll probably be like 60. I wanted to share with you my best and worst. Here's my best and worst. I'm only gonna do 10 because I feel like, you know what, it's getting out of hand. I just feel like top 24 in 24, like, no, that's like half the books I read. You know, we can't be doing the top when I've only read 50. 5 and 5 makes 10. I feel like that's perfect. All right, so let's start with the top 5 best books that I read this year. Number 1, and not in any order because I feel like I tried to put them in order and I just couldn't. The Concierge. Abby Corson. Okay, I made a video reading this, okay? It's called Watch Me Get Way Too Into This Mystery Book because that's exactly what happened. I got way too into that book. New fave. Honestly, new fave. I'm gonna go buy a copy of this because I need a copy. So good. And you know what? Some people were beefing with me in the comments being like, there's no way you didn't tell us the twist by the end of that video. Because you know what? The twist was so masterfully done that you could honestly go and watch that whole hour-long deep dive and still not be spoiled for the ending. You'd still never get who it was. Okay, it takes place in a hotel. It's a murder mystery book, takes place in a hotel in England. And it's called the Cavern Green Hotel. It follows this like 70-year-old concierge. He's the protagonist. His name's Hector. A murder takes place at the hotel while he's on shift. And then it becomes like a whole, you know. I spent an hour like deep diving this book, going through each like suspect, literally trying to figure it out, and still the twist. You could watch that whole video and then go and read the book and still not have a clue. You know what I mean? So like get mad about it. So you know what, that's why I decided like after all that I'm actually just not going to say who it was because the book still isn't spoiled. You know what I mean? I don't know, that was my thinking there. You know, it made a few people angry because they were like, I didn't just sit through a whole hour for you to not tell me who the killer was. But honestly, I'm not gonna, because you could literally go read that book. The seeds that were planted for who the killer was, they were there the whole time, but I didn't think it was like even worth mentioning. You know, there was a couple subplots throughout the book that I genuinely was like, oh, well, this is just not even worth mentioning in the video. Oh, like Abby Corson, I think she's a Melbourne author and she's actually a new fave author as well, you know what I mean? Go out and buy the book and read it. Promo for her. You actually should. You actually should go out and read it and support this lady because it's her debut novel and she killed it. She killed it. Anyways, release more, please, Abby, I'm begging. Okay, next top 5 book. You Called an Ambulance for What by Tim Booth. This is a compilation of stories from a paramedic called Tim. He was a paramedic for, oh, I don't even know, was it like 15 years or something like that? 20, maybe less. 10 years, I don't know. Oh my god, it's so good. He's from Australia, right? 2 Australian authors. Actually, I don't think Abby Corson is from Australia. I think she's like English, but she lives here now, so she's one of us. But Tim is from Sydney. He's recounting all of his stories of being a paramedic in the western suburbs of Sydney. I love books like this where it's like an insight into what it's like in a certain profession, because like you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna quit my job and just like I'm just gonna try being a paramedic for 6 months, see if I like it. Like you can't. You have to go to university, you have to study. It's a whole life choice. Being able to have a taste of what it's like is just so cool. Like we need more books like this. You just learn so much about what it's like being a paramedic and like the type of people that call them up, and you actually don't realize how many people waste the emergency services time, especially in Australia, because like, you know, if you have like a pension card or you're on government benefits, like all that's for free, you know what I mean? So people really do use and abuse. Yeah, it's so eye-opening. Already I had a massive amount of respect for paramedics, but even more so, you don't realize just how under the pump, just how like drained and overworked they are. It's actually pretty bad. Call an ambulance for an emergency, not for like random crap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're hearing stories about people who are calling the ambulance for sunburn. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? Yo, speaking of sunburn, look at this sunburn. Like, imagine me calling an ambulance for that. This is why I hate living in Australia. Being an Australian sucks sometimes. Oh, you should, by the way, if you live in Australia, like, go and get a skin check. Start doing that, because you know it's 1 in 2 people get skin cancer in Australia now. Just the video is derailing, but I just need to say, if you're an Aussie, go and get your skin checked, okay? 1 in 2 people will get it. That's so bad. So yeah, love that. Number 3, The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Again, I have a video on this one too. I read this in one sitting. Look at all my little tabs. This is a new favorite, like an actual new favorite. I wrote like, what is all this? Oh, I didn't even know I wrote sticky notes in here. Confidence is key. Even doing something wrong looks like you know something others don't. / genius if it's done with confidence. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. But it's true. I mean, truer words have not been spoken. No improvement after 1 session. Hours bug. Didn't even help and her and now. Am I okay? Do you ever read something back and you're like, how did I pass school? Have a look at the literacy skills on that. Anyone who's ever wondered if I'll ever write a book one day, I mean, that's a taste of my writing. You tell me if you think there's a book in my cards. I think we know where I sit. This is about a girl called Esther. I think she moves to New York City, yeah? Yeah, she wins an internship. She goes to New York. Oh my God, it's just so good, dude. Oh, it's so good and so ahead of its time. I just, you know what I mean? I just love her. I read Ariel, and I think there's like her journals or something. There's more Sylvia Plath out there that I do want to read. But okay, next one, The Vanishing Half. I spoke about this in my Reading Through the Decades video for the 2020s. This is about a pet. That sounded like I was going to say something else, but I wasn't. This is about a pair of twins who are like very white passing. This takes place during like segregation, the height of colorism and segregation. One of the sisters goes off, marries a white guy, and like goes off and lives her life as a white woman, severing all ties with her family and everything, like literally just disappears. It follows not only, this has like quite a few time jumps, like it follows the twins when they're younger, it follows the twins as adults, and then it also follows the twins as, like the twins have a daughter each. One of them ends up looking like just a full-on white girl, like blonde hair, blue eyes, and the other twin marries dark-skinned black man. So the daughter was dark-skinned. So the cousins look completely opposite. It follows like the difference between their lives as well, and like it sees them in college and stuff. Just like the whole journey of, you know what I mean, this family, and like how it all kind of unravels as well. And like also seeing like the disparity between each of the twins' life, like literally just based on the life that one of them decided to go live versus the other one, and how like colorism plays an enormous role in that, like just how different their lives ended up. It's incredible, like go read it. Then we have The Courage to be Disliked, which is a non-fiction. I've spoken about this on my channel too. This is in this video here if you want to go see. Like I have highlighted so much in here. Honestly, it's not what, like The Courage to be Disliked is an interesting title for the book, because I feel like you look at the title and you see this, the Japanese phenomenon that shows you how to free yourself, change your life and achieve real happiness. I think you would see that and assume it's going to be a certain way. Oh, just don't care what other people think. Like you just be your own raw, authentic self. I feel like that's what you'd assume the book is about, but honestly it's so much more than that. It's kind of not even really like that. So it's like low-key a little bit misleading. It's actually so much better than that in concept. It's like a philosophy type book, but not really. It's like a philosophy psychology type thing. Goes into the deeper underlying reasoning behind what makes people act the way they act, but it's so good. I'll just read you some of the quotes that I highlighted. That'll give you kind of like the vibe. And then also go watch that and skip to where I talk about this book if you want to hear more about it. But relationships in which people restrict each other eventually fall apart. One can be in a calm and natural state without having feelings of inferiority and needing to flaunt one's superiority. That's what real love is like. Restriction, on the other hand, is a manifestation of the mindset of attempting to control one's partner, and also an idea founded on a sense of distrust. You know what I mean? Oh, wait, where's some other stuff? Oh my God, the thing about anger was so like actually life-changing. Anger is a tool that can be taken out as needed, and it can be put away the moment the phone rings and pulled out again after one hangs up. There's no excuse for anyone to ever like shout at you, scream at you, throw something, whatever, because honestly, someone is not gonna lose it at like someone they're trying to impress or their boss at work. I mean, some might, but hey, there's always outliers. But like say you're out in public and you have a fight with like your boyfriend or something. Do you think he's gonna lose it in front of a cafe full of people and like scream his head off at you? Oh, I'm not gonna scream in front of a cafe full of people because that's gonna be embarrassing for me and what would people think? Do you think that same guy, if he was like angry at his boss or something, would like absolutely go ballistic on him and start throwing things around the office? No. Even yell at their superior or whatever? Like, no. You're not gonna flip out at your boss if you think, all right, cool, he's gonna fire me in an instant and I'm gonna be without food. Then I'm out on the street. So there's no such thing as like, oh, I just couldn't control my anger. Like there's actually no such thing, because really it's only just a matter of like, they just aren't bothered to control their anger around certain people, or you, for example. This is gonna sound pretty bad, but like they just don't see you as someone that they need to like hold it in with. Reading that, dude, has honestly changed my perspective on everything. Like if anyone ever screams at me again, you're done. That's like the main one that I honestly, like if I was gonna give you any example of what this book goes through, I wanna say that one, because you people need to hear that, okay? Oh, things about like people who are addicted to self-improvement. The philosopher saying, I withdrew from places that are preoccupied with winning and losing. If you're in this mindset of like everyone is competition, in many cases a competitor will not be your comrade. Yeah, how one of the most freeing things you can do is like free yourself from all forms of competition, which actually is so life-changing too, because if there is competition at the core of a person's interpersonal relationships, he will not be able to escape interpersonal relationship problems and escape misfortune. Because before you know it, you start to see each and every person, everyone in the whole world, as an enemy. Even if you're someone who keeps on winning, if you are someone who has placed himself in competition, you'll never have a moment's peace. Once you kind of leave that mindset behind, because if you shift from that to the mindset of like everyone's running their own race, what I want for my life, it's no one's business but really mine. The only competition I have is myself. Because really, like, I'm not trying to go the same places as everyone else. I'm trying to go where I want to go. The only thing standing in my way is myself, actually. So that, but then also aside from it, even if you have a similar goal, there's more than one brand for like every single thing ever. And there's like multiple titans of every industry and field. So it's pretty much like breaking away from that mindset of like, there's not enough to go around, because really there is. Anyways, and then it gets even deeper than that the further through you go. So good. I literally have just rambled like about this book for so long, but hey, it's on my best books for a reason. Like, go read it. Actually, this should be on the favorites shelf, shouldn't it? But there's no room for it. I'm actually rearranging my favorite shelf as we speak. Now let's get into the worst books that I read this year. Diary of an Oxygen Thief, #1. Now, I made a video about this too. So this is a book, honestly, I thought it was satire. I don't think it's satire. It's not satire, actually. It's not. But I don't know if this was written by an actual like narcissistic, misogynistic incel, or if this was written by like, I really don't know. I feel like this was written by a girl. I have a theory about that, but it was so bad. And it was bad not for the reasons that you would think. It was bad more from a place of like, this is so boring. Like, literally give me something to get angry about as well. I picked up this book for a reason, to feel something, and all I feel is numb. I was expecting to feel a whole array of emotions, but genuinely the one emotion I was not expecting to feel was complete and utter boredom. Come on now, if you're gonna write a story like this, it's like a dynamite concept, you know? And it's giving Capgun. Like, what a letdown. It was almost like trying to out edgelord everyone by publishing I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. Give me, like, Boil My Blood or something like that. Like, come on. Next book, The Lost Continent by Bill Bryson. Now, okay, this is a book about some English dude. Oh no, he was American, but then he moved to England and does like a full-on solo road trip through all these small towns in America, which low-key, reading this book was like part of the inspiration and was the final kick for me to actually go and do that. Yeah, but some of the stories were pretty funny. I don't have the copy anymore because I think my uncle's reading it, but some of the stories were really funny. Most of it was not, and most of it was boring, and also most of it was offensive. And this guy made that many fat jokes about women that it literally like blew my mind a little bit. I was like, there's actually no way. You know what? I started making a reading vlog for this, but then I abandoned it. I'm gonna put in a clip now for you, okay? Good morning, good day. We're at the library. Where else? Where else would I be? You know me. I can't stay away. I will always complain about this, but I will also always drink it. McDonald's iced coffee, oat milk, no sugar syrup. Add whip, stir the whip in before you start drinking it. Done. It's a done deal. It's sold. I'm currently reading this. Bill Bryson, Lost Continent. Dude, I was like 5 pages in and already me and this book have an issue. Shout out to the guy in the car next to me who keeps staring at me. That's so awkward, and we've made eye contact like 5 times. My mum recently read this. She told me to read it. She literally complained about the book the entire time that she was reading it, which was crazy. Oh, now he's moving. He got nervous. Well, you know what they say, if you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Okay, listen to this. It's a strange thing. I will say this. The teenage daughters of these fat women are always utterly delectable, as soft and gloriously rounded and naturally fresh smelling as a basket of fruit. I don't know what it is that happens to them, but it must be awful to marry one of those nubile cuties knowing that there is a time bomb ticking away in her that will, at some unknown date, make her bloat out into something huge and grotesque. Presumably all of a sudden and without much notice, like a self-inflating raft from which the stopper has been yanked. All right. Like, pack it up, Santa. What the hell? You're no oil painting yourself. Like, what are you even talking about? Who is this guy? And if that is a rude thing to say, I know it's rude to talk about people's appearances, but hello, you go low, I go lower. It's gonna be a ride. So we'll see. My mum has gone on to read. First of all, she complained about this the entire time she was reading it. Then she went on to go read another one of his books. And then she bought a third one. And now she's watching a movie adaptation of it. And I'm like, girl, what the... And she's complained about every single book she's read. I'm like, this girl has, like, honestly, I think she has Stockholm Syndrome. Bill Bryson needs to be stopped. Are you ready for this? This guy's on fire. Chapter 3. I read once that it takes 75,000 trees to produce one issue of the Sunday New York Times. And it's worth every trembling leaf. So what if our grandchildren have no oxygen to breathe? Fuck them. Not a word of a lie. Bill, you're losing me. You're losing me. And the whole book was like that. And another thing too, like, I feel like reading about someone's road trip is just not as interesting as like watching it or seeing it. There's also that. I don't know. I know it was written a while ago, but come on, dude. Besides that, still on the worst list, you know what I mean? Okay, next one, number 3 on our top 5 worst books this year is Milk Fed by, is it named Melissa Broder? Okay, I talked about this in my in that video as well. Terrible. Terrible doesn't even really begin to like scratch the surface of how I feel. Like, literally disgusting. The vibes that the main character gave me, I was so uncomfortable being in this main character's head because honestly, she felt like a predator. The way she would talk about the love interest was so nasty and disgusting. She literally, dude, if this main character was a man, I genuinely feel like everyone would have a problem with this book. It's so predatory, disgusting type, like it's so nasty. I'm so sorry. Like, and some people look at it and they're like, wow, it's masterful, it's artful. You know what I mean? I keep picking this up, I'm so sorry. I feel like there would be some, like, let me just intellectualize this real quick type person out there who would be like, oh wow, masterful, mwah. No, stop pretending. Stop pretending with me right now, okay? Okay, it's about 2 Jewish girls. One of them is like really orthodox, the other one isn't. The main character has an eating disorder. The whole point of the book is like dealing with that. The other girl is really set on feeding her, and the main character has like a bunch of has like mummy issues. So disrespectful as well, this main character. It like actually pissed me off. Dude, she spends Shabbat with this girl's family, and that whole scene in the book, the second Shabbat that she spends with them, that whole part of the book just like actually annoyed the I don't even want to talk about the book. Like, honestly, you can go watch that video. I think I talked about it a bit more, but like, dude. I'm not gonna sit here though and say I don't recommend reading it, but like, use your own discernment, and a trigger warning for it as well for multiple different things. EDs, SA, I don't know, religious trauma is mentioned in here as well. Just like, it's pretty heavy. Don't just go and pick up this book because you're like, oh, there's a titty on the cover. I'm gonna go read it. Like, yeah. Number 4 worst book, Smashed Avocado by I don't even remember who, but this is an Australian author. I think she's a Melbourne author actually too. Okay, the name being Smashed Avocado. Okay, this is a book about property, the Australian property market, but it was written a few years ago. Was it written pre-COVID? I think it was. Anyways, reading this will just honestly make you depressed. Like, it's just gonna make you depressed. Like, don't even read it. Like, honestly don't. Especially because a lot of her advice, not like, her advice, but like there were multiple kind of things in this book where she kind of just, you know what, I won't say a lot about it because it's probably not pertinent to many of the people watching here. Like if you're not Australian and you're not like trying to get on the property ladder, or you know what I mean, or don't care to read a book like this, you're just not going to give a crap. You know what I mean? Fair enough. The type of vibes that it was giving at certain points in the book, it's very much like, just get a loan off your parents, just move back in with your parents and save and you know, I don't know, some moments in there were very much like, just get your parents to go guarantor. No, and I'm not saying like, not really, but yeah. So like at some points in there, it was kind of like, come on girl, come on queen. I don't know, I wouldn't recommend this actually, you know what I mean? And the thing with books like this is they are outdated so fast. The advice in here is already bad advice. Well, not bad advice, but like it's already just not relatable to the target audience anymore. Because the target audience is like first home buyers and it's already not useful for them anymore. That's kind of the yeah, whatever. Not good vibes. And I don't know, her tone was just kind of like, not condescending, but like, I don't know. Enough about that. Smashed Avocado, one of the worst. Now we have a final two tied. These are probably the ones that I have like the least issue with, honestly. These are probably like the least. I just kind of mildly didn't like these ones. The Unhoneymooners and then Permanent Record. Permanent Record, I spoke about in a lot more depth in my Mary HK Choi video, okay? I just didn't like the vibe between the girl and the love interest. I just didn't like the guy. If I'm honest with you, I didn't like the guy. He was kind of a bum and he had a really crap mindset and he just annoyed me. And if I met a guy like him in real life, I would be gone before he could even blink. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this one, it's not even like bad. Oh, I highlighted things in here. Wait, I only started highlighting things in halfway through. Am I for real? Oh, yuck. Oh my God, okay, amazing. Oh, I've highlighted the perfect things, perfect. Okay, listen. This is about a pair of twins, Olive and Amy. Fangirl vibes. Throwback to Fangirl, who's read that? You know how there's like Kath and Ren, and like Kath is the hot twin and Ren's like the dumpy sad twin? Amy's like the luckiest person in the world. She's about to marry her dream man. And I think everything just goes right for her. And then Olive is like the unlucky, woe is me, no one loves me twin. And they're identical, but somehow Olive is the ugly twin, even though they're identical type of vibes, which I've never understood that, but hey, I've never understood that. Like, I'm sorry, you have the same face. How is one of you hot and one of you ugly? Like, make it make sense. They go to the wedding, everyone gets food poisoning except Olive, and then the best man. There's an all expenses paid honeymoon. Oh no, like we can't cancel it. Let the two people who didn't get food poisoned at this wedding go in our place. And so Olive and her nemesis have to go on the... Amazing concept, you know what I mean? Amazing concept for a romance book, obviously. I think what ruined it for me, that first of all, the main character, I was like, come on. Like, there was this really ridiculous lie that she got caught in that just, it literally just made no sense. It was like, I actually can't believe that you're lying about this right now. Like, it's so dumb. Like, literally so unnecessary, so dumb. And I understand it had to be in there as a plot point, but like, pick a different plot point. Like, that's so dumb. And then we get home at the end of the book, right? And this is where I had an issue because, oh, I don't want to spoil anything though for people who haven't read it, but I think I'm gonna have to. So if you don't want to be spoiled for this, yeah, maybe just goodbye now, you know? Thanks for watching. See you later. Comment, subscribe, like. See you next week. But yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts on this, and you can stay. So oh my God, so the twin that just got married, the best man's not a jackass at all, okay? The husband, the groom is a jackass. The best man is the groom's brother, okay? The groom has been cheating on the bride for like 2 years. Now Olive, sad ugly twin, has gone on the honeymoon with best man, okay? They find this out, and then basically best man is like, no, like I think he's trying to cover for his brother, or he's trying to be like, no, it's gonna ruin everything. Like, I don't know. Basically, he's like, you're putting me in a crap spot. Pretty much the situation ends up being that if Olive tells Amy about Dane, you know, being like unfaithful or whatever, and it's like gonna be bad for her relationship with him, because now that they're a thing, she decides to like keep the peace and like not get involved, to like not rock the boat with this guy that she's like now has a thing with, instead of telling her sister that her husband has been cheating on her. Oh my God. Listen to this quote. I wanted to let you know that I've decided to not say anything to Amy about Dane. Things are going great for us right now. Would never be me. She goes, everything is cool, and like winks at Dane to let him know like, hey, I'm covering for you. I'm covering for you cheating on my sister, my twin sister. oh my God, it could literally never be me. I'm sorry, but like, I don't even have a pair of balls, but I would rather drag my balls across hot lava coals and broken shattered glass before I ever dogged one of my sisters like that. Oh my God. And the fact that this Dane idiot says to his brother or something, we can totally trade twins sometime, haha. You're talking about your wife and your brother's girlfriend, like, but I think that's my problem with Dane in a nutshell. He's gross. Unfortunately, my sister loves him and I've been hooking up with his brother. And not 5 minutes ago, I gave Dane the all clear wink. I made my decision. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to put on my big girl pants and deal. You don't need to put on big girl pants. You need to grow a bloody conscience is what you need to do. Oh my God. This just actually, you know what? This like fully reminded me why I gave it such a bad rating. And that it's you know what? Actually, screw this book, because it's tried to be like half justified in the fact that when Olive finally tells the twin, because Dane hits on her at the bar, and then Olive is like, no, that's it, I'm gonna go tell my sister. Yeah, you should have done that anyway. And then the twin sister Amy is like, take off the tinfoil hat. I'm supposed to believe that my husband is that manipulative and that he's been cheating on me for 3 years. Do you really hate him that much? Do you have anyone else's word to go by except Ethan's? So like, because the twin doesn't want to hear it and doesn't want to believe it, that's kind of like the excuse of like, see, that's why Olive didn't bother, because Amy would have never even believed her anyway. I don't give a mate, I don't care if my sister wouldn't believe me. I need to tell her. Like, I'll make her believe, I'll find some proof. I will conjure whatever proof up out of my ass I need to. There is literally no way, like there is literally nothing ever that like could ever make me make that choice. 1 star. I think I gave it a 1 star. I don't actually know. I don't know what I gave it, but if I didn't give it a 1 star, we need to lower that thing, because seriously. And it wasn't even good. It was so average. That's our final one. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a great New Year's. I will see you next year.